Fairies. Fairies are one of those unknown origin deals. While modern interpretations of fairies shows them as small, winged, humanoid beings with magical abilities, there are various cultures and accounts that say differently. Even some religions speak of the existence of fairies, or fae, and consider them to be the descendants of angels and or demons. Another modern trope about fairies is that they are good and bring good fortune. However, throughout most of human history, people have been trying to ward off or steer clear of these diabolical creatures, seeing as how a fairy was thought to be a ghost, spirit, elemental, angel, demon, demigod, endangered species, etc. These creatures could practically live anywhere. Many stories tell of fairies using will-o-wisps to lead unsuspecting humans astray. As soon as the unfortunate soul left the beaten path, they would find themselves in the realm of the fairies, doomed to wander aimlessly for eternity. There are many stories of heroes and heroines alike having to outsmart, trick, or just plain duke it out with fairy folk. Other stories are cautionary tales and or cases of mistaken identity. For example, the true story of Bridget Cleary. Bridget Cleary was an independent, literate, well-off woman in 1895, Ballyvadlea, Ireland. This meant she would stick out like a sore thumb in comparison to her neighbors and other families from that time. At the age of 18, Bridget was an apprentice seamstress and would marry a man by the name of Michael Cleary. From the time she was young up until her unfortunate demise at the age of 26, Bridget would occasionally travel by foot through the woods and most notably over a ring hill known as, I can't pronounce that word, so we're just going to call it Ring Hill, which locals dubbed Fairy Fort. During the late 1800s, Ireland was wrought with superstition. The Irish believed that people should seldom venture out into the woods because of creatures such as demons, fairies, and changelings. A common held belief by people before the modern age was that the forest and the woods belonged to otherworldly creatures, while towns and cities belonged to humans. And as long as both respected one another's space, there was little to be afraid of. And then you have people like Bridget, who are far beyond their time and don't put much stock into old wives' tales. On March 4th, 1895, Bridget returned home from a delivery. I'm pretty sure you can guess which path she took. However, she had caught a bad case of bronchitis as stated by the doctor who treated her, and would be very ill for the coming week and a half. Listening to the nonsensical ramblings of a quote-unquote fairy doctor, Michael Cleary became convinced his wife had been swapped for a supernatural creature, a changeling. Changeling stories usually involve a fairy and a baby. The fairy would replace the baby with a changeling, and once swapped, the changeling would take the appearance of the baby, destined to grow up with the parents of the abducted child, while the parents themselves never knew the difference. While there are numerous reasons for why the fairies did this, none of those reasons are good. That aside, Michael Cleary was convinced nonetheless and began his attempts to get his wife back from the evil clutches of the Aosi, or fairy folk. Michael, as well as a group of up to 8 other people, would periodically try to force a confession out of Bridget as to where the real Bridget was. They would force her to consume concoctions that sound like the worst part of a witch's potion, throw urine on her, and finally, on March 15th, 1895, take Bridget's life. It's unclear whether Bridget was unalived and then set on fire, or just set on fire. But what is certain is that her body would be found in a shallow grave on March 22nd, 1895. If you weren't afraid of fairies before this video, I wonder how you feel about them now. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like it. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you next time. Bye.